Well, good afternoon, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to another Wednesday Wisdom Poetry. I am Sharaledon Brave, and it's so good to have you with me. I hope that everyone, your week has gone well so far, and hopefully your week will continue to do so. I have two four-liners today, and I have one longer piece. I'm going to do as I did on last week, and I'm going to do one of the four-liners actually at the end instead of the two at the beginning. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I'm looking forward to it. All right. The first the first piece is entitled Driven. Let me make one little correction here. There we go, that's a lot better. Driven. I am driven. I will not stop. I'll keep on driving, for there is no top. Again, I am driven. I will not stop. I'll keep on driving, for there is no top. You know that I usually don't explain my pieces, but I love this piece because a lot of us, we say, well, when I get to the top. And for me, that seems like such a limitation. Why stop there? So when I wrote this one and I ended it with, for there is no top, that's to me, for you, for all of us, is to say, do not put limits on yourself. Go past what you think is the top. Because I think I have heard this on 91.9, Morris Baxter does a morning motivation, and one of the things he talked about was I think it was the mile, people not being able to break the mile all these years until someone broke it. Now a whole bunch of people came behind and broke how much time it takes to run the mile. But because if the first person thought that was the top and everyone else thought that was the top, it would never have been broken. So let's not limit ourselves, all right? So the next piece is the title is more of symbols than words. It's entitled Questions. And when you go to actually see the video, once I upload the written word, you will be able to see why I say it's more symbols than words. We often ask ourselves, when is our time to shine brighter than a silver dollar and to escape the daily grind? We may even ask ourselves, where should we now be? Intuitively, we know we are greater than where we are now see. Let me try that one again. We may even ask ourselves, where should we now be? Intuitively, we know we are greater than what we now see. We might ask ourselves, do we deserve that for which we hope? Settling instead for just getting by, just trying to survive and hopefully cope. And then we ask ourselves, who are, when I wrote this, I knew it was more a piece of reading, shall I say writing, than reading. So if you would bear with me, I'm going to start again with this. We often ask ourselves, when is it our time to shine brighter than a silver dollar and to escape the daily grind? We may even ask ourselves, where should we now be? Intuitively, we know we are greater than what we now see. We might ask ourselves, do we deserve that for which we hope? Settling instead for just getting by, just trying to survive and hopefully cope. And then we ask others who are doing the exact same, who instead of answering boldly, answer out of guilt and shame. But instead of asking these questions about when and what to pursue, just keep on moving forward and eventually we'll make it through. Questions. And so I'm going to end with a four-liner. This one's entitled, This Is Your Story. The story you tell is as important as mine, for it is uniquely yours as you are to the divine. Again, the story you tell is as important as mine, for it is uniquely yours as you are to the divine. I want to share a little bit about this piece too, because speaking with a couple of friends of mine, my new thing I always say is that, I don't talk much about my story anymore, only because we all have a unique story. And I actually love to hear other people's stories. But when you recognize that we each have a story, I hope that when we engage people, that we don't get so caught up in their stories that we forget that we have our own stories. And we are the narrator of our stories. And being the narrator of your own story, you make changes. You can make changes. And so this conversation has come up several times with a few of my friends and a homeboy of mine. And I'm just loving the fact that when I engage people, that I have the opportunity to put into practice. I have one mouth and two ears, and just to hear their stories, because there's something to learn from everyone's story. So that particular piece, This Is Your Story, is really more so written for you. Have your story, share your story, narrate your story, and if you're not happy with it, change your story. All right? So I want to go ahead and say a few greetings. I see Freddie, thank you so much. Kathy, I see you. How are you? Aunt Barbara, thank you for watching. I got you. I see you. And thank you again. I'll go back to that piece that I had to do over again. It's amazing what the mind does to the body, or basically to the mouth. Because when I wrote this piece and I started reading it out loud, I said, Sharaledon, it's a mouthful. Take it slow, take it easy. And maybe if I had not said what I said, as far as it being a mouthful to start off with, but nonetheless, I love the piece. I hope that you enjoy it. A few notes. Keep in mind, we still have an election coming up. I think it was about 46 days away. Remember to do the Census 2020. That will end at the end of this month, September. I think September the 30th will be the last time that you'll be able to either call in or go online, or if you had not mailed in the paper census, please go ahead and do so. There's a few other things. Oh, I am also uploading on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you have anyone that does not follow me on Facebook or does not have a Facebook account, please feel free to send them the link from YouTube, and you can just pretty much Google Sharaledon Braver Wednesday Wisdom Poetry, and it will come up. So pretty much that is it. I hope. Oh, one thing I forgot last week, and it was I did. I forgot. I'm not going to clean it up. I want to wish a happy birthday to my Aunt Patricia, but I did forget on last week, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing for me at all. So and I also please keep my family lifted. We have one of my mother's first cousins has made his transition. Our cousin Perry Parson. So please keep the family lifted as we get used to the transition of he now being an ancestor and not here with us physically. All right. So again, I'm so glad to have you all. Jameson, thank you for being with me. Eric also. So I'm not going to keep you. And I always want to remember, if you see the video, especially if you're seeing it later, whenever you see it, please go ahead and share it on your timeline so that others may have the opportunity to engage and to hopefully feel what you felt while you were watching it. All right. So again, I am Sharaledon Brave. It's so great to be in front of you. I'm smiling because you really bring me joy every Wednesday. I could be having a tight day, and most of my Wednesdays are tight because you do know that I do this, and then I basically end the broadcast and go get ready for work, and I do work overnight. But at the same time, this means so much to me, and I want to thank one of my my Facebook followers, and you know what, and that's what the mind does. Anyway, he said he was thanking me for my commitment and my dedication. And for the last year and probably 2 weeks, I have come before you without ever missing a Wednesday. And that really touched me that he said that. But I need you. And so this is why I come before you every Wednesday, all right? So as I end every Wednesday, I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can try. The universe will not support you in that effort, all right? Because, I'm still working on being a little bit stronger than you when it comes down to that, all right? So I'll see you on next week. Take care now.